In today's weekly news roundup, a government to subsidize fuel surcharge cost for 3 months. Elvia Smith Maduro is acting permanent secretary in the Premier's office. Special holiday announced in observance of Queen Elizabeth II's funeral. Queen Elizabeth II's funeral is set for September 19th. Premier Wheatley declares that he will be attending. Hire BVI to host Adopt a Classroom initiative. McMaster awarded $38K by government for his athletic accomplishments. Cabinet approves new BVI Tourist Board with Delmo Maduro appointed as chairman. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break.
Yo, everything good, Dad?
Aye. This thing got me one way, Daddy.
What do you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What do you really? Hey, this ain't like you know.
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out of trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit. I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I hustle. I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.
Welcome everybody. It's Saturday, September 17th, 2022. I'm Ron Grant coming to you live and direct from Tortola in the Virgin Islands. A happy Saturday to one and all, hoping that you are each having an enjoyable weekend. Of course, it is my pleasure to bring you this week's weekly news roundup with the top stories of this past week. The government of the Virgin Islands has allocated new funds to assist Virgin Islanders in paying off their monthly electricity bills without breaking the bank. The announcement was made by Acting Premier, Minister for Communications and Works, the Honorable Kai M. Reimer, who is also the 5th District Representative, in a recent statement. Reimer assured Virgin Islanders that the government has not turned what he calls a blind eye to the issue of increasingly expensive electricity costs in the territory, adding that legislators themselves are not immune to the issue and are also facing higher bills in their private lives. The acting premier said that in response to the issue, the cabinet has approved some funds to allow for the government to subsidize the fuel oil surcharge on residential electricity bills for the next 3 months.
In the schedule of additional provisions, the STEP recently approved by the Cabinet and the House of Assembly, government has allocated some funds to help to lower residential electricity bills. Government will be subsidizing 50% of the fuel oil surcharge on residential electricity bills for the month of October and November 2022. And for the month of December 2022, the subsidy will be 100% of the fuel oil surcharge for residential electricity bills.
The issue of rising electricity costs in particular, he said, has been a result of developments in the global fuel market and is not the fault of the BVI Electricity Corporation, whose bill calculations, he added, are guided by a set legislation.
Those who follow international news would be aware that the cry in almost every country has been the high prices consumers face for nearly every commodity and service, especially those that involve imports. Some of you would have seen the news in the United States and the United Kingdom, for example, where people have been struggling and cannot pay high fuel prices for their vehicles and electrical bills. Practically, no one has been spared, and the Virgin Islands has not been exempted nor immune to these international developments.
Governor of the Virgin Islands, His Excellency John Ranking CMG, in an official declaration stated that whereas it is provided by Section 5 of the Public Holidays Act that it shall be lawful for the governor, with the advice of the cabinet, to issue a proclamation appointing a special day to be reserved as a public holiday throughout the Virgin Islands. Now further, cabinet has advised that Monday, the 19th, this coming Monday of September 2022, be reserved as a public holiday throughout the Virgin Islands. This is, of course, in observance of the funeral of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth. In regards to the funeral, Premier Dr. the Honorable Natalio D. Wheatley is out of the territory, and he is expected to attend the service for the funeral for Queen Elizabeth II. Of course, he was out for a period which he attended the Caribbean Tourism Organization's Cayman event in Cayman Islands, and from there he will travel to the United Kingdom. According to an official statement from Buckingham Palace, the state funeral for Queen Elizabeth II will be held at Westminster Abbey on September 19th. Elvia Smith-Maduru has been appointed acting permanent secretary in the Premier's office. As acting permanent secretary, Mrs. Smith-Maduru will be responsible for providing advice, assistance, and administrative support on the formulation of policy for the ministry, its departments, and of course the government as a whole. She will also coordinate and manage the functions of the ministry to ensure the successful formulation and implementation of ministerial and cross-ministerial government policies and programs. Mrs. Smith-Maduru's appointment came into effect on May 25, 2022. She, of course, shares the portfolio of Premier's office with Permanent Secretary Mrs. Carolyn Stout-Igwe. Higher BVI will host Adopt a Classroom initiative on October 5th. The Adopt a Classroom initiative, under the theme The Future is Now, invites students that would love the chance for their classroom to win school and stationery supplies to complete a form at higherbvi.com/adoptaclassroom. Upon completion, the classroom will be entered into a raffle for a chance to win. The deadline to submit the classroom wish list is September 23rd, and classroom announcement will be made on October 5th. Though this initiative, Higher BVI is hoping that other, of course, interested corporations would collaborate with them by also adopting a classroom. Once the students submit their classroom wish list, a company will be able to pick a classroom at random and execute the classroom wish list. On Thursday, September 15th, 2022, the one and only Karen McMaster was awarded a $38K check from Sports Minister Sharibi De Castro on behalf of the government of the Virgin Islands upon his welcome back home to the territory. McMaster recently completed very successful athletic achievements over the last 2 seasons. While he was here, he made several appearances to schools in the Virgin Islands and speaking and addressing, of course, a lot of the needs and concerns that he sees, and of course encouraging the future athletes that are aspiring. Amid public disclosure surrounding a recent ban on the use of a section of the Ellis Thomas Downs facility, which has resulted in the cancellation of the VI Horse Owners Association Labor Day horse racing, the relationship between the Unity government and the Thomas family has come under great scrutiny within the public's eye. New information has now come to light as both sides of the dispute have shared their account of the circumstances which preceded the ban. In a recent interview with an online media publication, the Thomas family's Elaine Thomas Griffith, daughter of the late Ellis Thomas, claimed that it was the government who decided to terminate its contract with her family without giving them much choice on the matter. Mrs. Thomas Griffith alleged that the family was informed at the beginning of a September 8th meeting with government representatives that the contract was being cancelled on the premise of a technicality, and this was a position taken by the government with no previous word with the family on this specific matter. Of course, viewers, that story in its entirety is available on our various platforms, especially 284media.com. His Excellency, the Acting Governor, Mr. David D. Archer, Jr., chaired a cabinet meeting held on the 2nd of September, 2022, in the absence of Governor John J. Ranking, CMG, who was overseas on annual leave. With all members present, the meeting was held at the Financial Services Commission Resource Center, Jones Building, and the following was decided. Accepted was the 2021 annual report for the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, and decided that it be laid on the table at the next convenient sitting of the House of Assembly. Of course, endorsed the Minister's recommendation in accordance with Section 3, Number 3 of the Tourist Board Ordinance that the following persons be appointed as members of the BVI Tourist Board. Of course, effective the 1st of September for a period of 4 years ending August 2026. Mrs. Delma Maduru, Mr. Henry Prince, Andrew Ball, Mrs. Keisha Davis Barnes, Mr. Gregory Colwood, Mrs. Dorcas Foy, Mr. Oren Hodge, Mrs. Shamora Penn Maduru, Mr. Alan Parker, Mr. Miles Sutherland Hilch and Miss Lorraine Wheatley. Of course, in addition to that, Cabinet approved on separate occasions a number of various boards pertaining to the BVI Ports Authority, the BVI Airports Authority as well. Again, viewers, those full stories are available on our newscast in detail. Viewers, I want to take this opportunity to thank you so much for joining in to our weekly news roundup. Of course, we are providing this shortened version just in case you missed any of our newscasts this week. We want to make sure that you're informed throughout the weekend as well. Of course, we are encouraging you to stay safe over this holiday weekend. Be safe and prepare as we are still in the heart of our hurricane season. That is it for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for your daily news updates at 284media.com, and of course, like us on Facebook at 284media.com and 284BVI on Instagram and Twitter. In addition to that, we are currently running the TEDx Roadtown series, which features all of the 8 speakers who will be featured at the TEDx Roadtown, which will be held on October 15th, 2022. If you want an idea as to who these speakers are and what they will be presenting, this is your keen opportunity to be able to witness and hear from them. I'm Ron Grant. I will see you again on Tuesday, that is, as we deliver your daily dose of local, regional, and international content while we are observing the passing of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. I do implore you to pay your respects, as well as do have an enjoyable day with your family and friends. 284 News, your source for honest and impartial news, right here on 284 Media. Happy Saturday, everybody. Have a beautiful weekend. Bye-bye.
Hello?
Wait, you had a lunch and care? You say you were sick? What happened to our wedding rehearsal?
No, babe. I'm actually watching the news right now. Take a listen.
Topping our newscast today, UFOs seen around Tortola Pier Park.
And
District 3 residents outraged over no water supply. They simply cannot bathe. These and more stories when 284 News returns.
Alright, babe, just get some rest, take 2 Advil, and I'll see you later.
bye.
Okay, honey. I see you later. I love you.
It's clear to see that Coconut Lounge is a place to be, the coolest cocktail lounge in the British Virgin Islands. A lounge like no other, with welcoming, professional service, and a breathtaking ambiance. Not forgetting a diverse selection of wines, beers, and signature cocktails. Cozy, comfortable, contemporary. Coconut Lounge at Tortola Pier Park. Visit us today.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Brilliant Hands and Minds Tutoring Services. One-on-one tutorials in math and English, intense homework assistance, academic enrichment, school projects, effective communication and public speaking development, sign language for adults and children on Saturdays only. Registered with the Virgin Islands High School Certificate Program, Brilliant Hands and Minds can help you too. Offering intense curriculum-based training to help you or your loved ones get their high school diploma. It's time to make your family's education a #1 priority. Hurry, space is limited. Brilliant Hands and Minds Learning Center. We are the trained education professionals.
Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny boy, come, yes, Sonny.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sonny boy. Hold on there. You must have cut fun topic.
It's okay. I'll take care of it.
What? No man to take care of me.
How may I assist you?
Yes.
You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?